This is Andy Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'm delighted to join by light heavyweight talent Shakan Pitters over Zoom. Shakan, firstly, how are you? Happy New Year. Hope you had a good one and a good time over Christmas with your family.
All good, man. All good, Andy. Yeah, had a good one with my family. I was on Christmas turkey duties this year and things like that. So obviously I got the job done. You know what I mean? My second job away from boxing is chefing. It was all good.
Chef?
I can cook, man. Trust me, I can chef it up, man. Not a lot of people know, but I'm good.
All right, that's good to know. Obviously, before we come on to this year, what you're looking at and what you're looking towards, just reflect on 2021 for me, a successful year for yourself, coming away with 3 fights, 3 wins. How would you reflect on it all as you've got the chance to now?
Yeah, honestly, like for me, I just done what I had to do, man. I done what I had to do. Coming back and just doing what I had to do, knowing what I had to do, training hard, working on different things, and getting the job done. That's how it was for me.
On the back of that defeat to Craig, Shaq, did you feel a pressure heading into 2021 to right the wrongs of what went wrong with the Craig fight?
Not as much, really. I mean, it'd be like to say that there wasn't a little bit of pressure coming back in the first one, not to sense of worried of win or loss or whatever. It was just more getting the job done properly. I know I'm capable of. I'm always capable. I always know what I'm capable of doing. Obviously, a loss is gonna knock you back a bit, and it's gonna knock anyone back a bit. It's fighters say they don't care about a loss. They obviously got like a different kind of mentality, but for me, I'm very competitive, so of course it's gonna have its toll on me a bit. But I came back, man, and obviously I got the first job done. Done what I had to do, and then coming throughout 2021, just done more things what I had to do. But thing is with me, man, I'm just working harder, like hard in the gym. I know everyone comes out and says they're working harder, but generally I'm working on all the acute stuff and all the mistakes, and I am hard on myself, man. I want to be a perfectionist. I want to be the best version I can be. And that's all I can expect from myself, is the best version I can be. And in order for me to be the best version I can be, no competition looking at anyone else, just the best version I can be, I've got to work on my acute mistakes and things. And I think that's what I will continue to do and what I have done.
So how much do you feel you've learned since that fight?
I've learned a lot. Because obviously experience amounts to things as well. It's another year on for me. It's another year in the gym. It's another year, with more fights behind my belt. So experience plays its part for me, for myself. So I feel like I'm always getting better, and I'll just continue to keep pushing that direction to get better for myself.
Just to touch on one of the 3 fights from last year, which was the last one with Reece Cartwright, probably a much tighter affair than what yourself or the gym imagined. Now you've had a bit of time to reflect, stopping him in the end. But what did you make of that contest?
Yeah, wasn't my best performance. Watching back, weren't my best performance. But Reece, look, he's a game kid. I can't take anything from him. He's a good fighter. He had a good record. I think he was like 23 fights in or 24 fights in, 23 wins. So I always know he was going to bring it. The fact that, he's come up weight and things like that, but weight plays its factor in boxing. It doesn't matter. Like, I've not got no mad advantage if someone's in the weight category, you know what I mean, or whatever. I just know what I can do and things. But it was a good fight. He was a good fighter. I enjoyed it, crazy enough. I kind of mixed it up more than I needed to. But it's one of them fights. Sometimes you just got to bite in your gumption and, just say, fuck it, basically. We can have it off. You know what I mean? But that's how it was for me. We had a good little scrap. He's a nice guy. I wish him all the best with his career.
It's interesting, Shaq, because of your physique and the height and reach advantages you'll hold over most light heavyweights.
Yeah.
When you do get involved in that sense and you do have a bit more of a ruck, as it were, maybe not the right word there, but you hold your feet and start to stand off and trade. What makes you want to do that? Because it'd be very easy with, like I say, the advantages you have physically to just box a bit cuter.
Yeah, of course, man. I'm like, that's what a naturally taller person like myself should do, boxing my strengths and things like that. But when you got a kid who's gonna obviously keep coming forward and doing what they're doing, sometimes you got to switch up the game. It can't be the same. Like, him and his team would have probably watched tapes where, they probably watched the Spellman fight, judging on that. You know what I mean? I was on the back foot too long. I was a novice going into a 10-round fight. It's my first 10-round, and they probably thought, you know what, we keep this guy on the ropes, we'll have him here. You know what I mean? But as I say, man, I'm a lot more comfortable. If I'm on the ropes, I'm comfortable. In the sense where, although it's not a strategy myself and my team will plan to be on or whatever, but I'm more composed, if you get what I'm saying, on the ropes now, if I need to be on the ropes. But yeah, each fight, it's different. You know, you've got to switch it up a bit, know what you're doing. I know he was exerting a lot of energy in certain rounds. Certain rounds probably made him come on too strong, but then I held my feet. And, you know, I think the body punches was just working. I think I showed as well that I can mix it up. I can fight in the inside. You know what I mean? I'm a tall guy, but I can hold my feet and fight like that. So there's different aspects of my game I'm always working on, because if I'm just trying to work on in the gym, keeping it long and doing the things I'm good at, then when it comes to fight night, you know, you're going to be in a different world when you don't know how to have the answers for it. So I always believe in working on things what you are strong on, and different aspects and other things. And obviously coming close to the fight, of course, me and my team will work on game plans and things like that. But I'm been in the game long enough now as well to, you know, judge whether I do need to switch something up or if something ain't working. And, you know, if the chips are down a bit, then what to do to press on and things like that. So it was good though, man. Credit to Reese, a good guy. I like his story. You know, I respect him as a fighter and a man now. And as I say, man, I wish him the best for his career as well going forward.
Shaq, moving on to this year and what can lie ahead for yourself, what is the plan moving into 2022? What are yourself and the team looking at with regards to how they envisage this year playing out for you?
For me personally, I want to keep improving my world ranking. I want to be in you know, in a good stead, in a good mix on it. I'm not jumping the gun. I'm not rushing. I'm just going to keep whatever's planned for 2022 will happen. I'm just going to keep, you know, focusing one fight at a time, as I always do, one opponent at a time, and just keep, you know, pressing on. That's Mick Hennessy and my team's job, to obviously sit down and have these discussions, as well as I do as well with them. But it's something where if I can't control certain things at the moment, then I just focus on one fight at a time. I focus on one day at a time training and just working hard in the gym. I know they're particularly putting in together to announce a fight date soon. So obviously I'm just working towards that day and, you know, working hard in the gym. I just want to have a, you know, solid performance in my next fight and a solid win, of course.
Shaq, I'm interested to know, you mentioned building on your rankings and trying to continue to build up that way. We've seen kind of a path being cleared, not cleared, but a path being set for Sam Eggington building up his own rankings. Is that what Mick Hennessy wants to do with you guys, kind of moving away from the British or domestic scene and looking towards maybe European or world honours, if you can reach that point? Is that how he wants to push you guys now?
Yeah, he's a very positive promoter. You know, he believes in his fighters, and I believe the only way for, you know, fighters like myself, Sam, and others on the stable is to keep pushing on, keep pushing forward. You know, you can keep having these fights and staying around the scene and, you know, fighting people where it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna give you any great meaning. Like that's why I don't. When I first came back, I was a bit, obviously I don't go against my team, but me as a fighter, it was just like I was a bit disappointed to just have like a kind of combat fight and whatever and things like that, because I felt fine in a sense. But again, sometimes they know me better than me, you know, so I agree with their choices and their judgment. But like, yeah, I believe every fight for myself and even Sam and other fighters on the stable, that you've got to keep pushing on. Like, this the sport we're in, man. We've got, you know, one opportunity to make a big impact in this sport, really. We can't come back again, you know, retire and come back and decide to do things. It's not a darts or anything like that, is it? You know what I mean? So we've got to make the most of our, you know, of our limbs now and what we've got and what we can do, and keep pushing on to, you know, better ourselves, capture more belts and improve our rankings, whether it's British scene or world. Everything's got to be fights with meaning, and that's where I'm at a stage. I want fights with meaning.
So you've just mentioned you want fights with meaning. So does that mean you're still open to potential domestic clashes? Because for a while people have said that light heavyweight scene domestically, there's so many great names there. If the fights can be made and promoters can make agreements, it can light up any division in the sport domestically.
Yeah, the division's thriving, man. There's great fighters throughout the division. And honestly, I'll fight any of them as long as it makes sense for my career. For me, there's great fights there, man. There's great fights to be made, definitely for sure. But as I say, I've took fights early on in my career and just kept pressing on, you know what I mean? And I'll continue, throw myself in there with who I need to be or who I need to be in there. And again, long as it makes sense, it's got to make sense. I'm at a stage where things got to make sense for me. I'm not just going to fight someone for fighting someone. It's got to make sense. And it's something where I'm sure my team would want fights with meaning and fights that are going to make sense in my career as well.
When you look at the current names just domestically, Shaq, you've obviously got JB, who you've sparred with previously, Callum Johnson, Anthony Yard, Craig Richards, past opponent again, and then Lyndon Arthur coming on the back of that defeat with Anthony. Where do you say you rank?
I don't really compare myself to anyone. As I say, man, I believe regardless I'm the best. You know what I mean? I'm always gonna believe I'm the best in myself, and I'm always gonna believe in myself. I don't care what anyone else wants to say and feel. We're in a sport where we've got to keep putting the work in ourselves, improving our times, improving our fights, improving everything. So we've got to have that belief in ourselves. But I don't compare to myself to anyone. I just focus on my own journey and career. If any of them are in my path, then obviously we get it on. But right now, I just focus on myself. I wish everyone the best with their careers, you know what I mean? And hopefully, man, we could all meet up and, have a good fight for the fans as long as it makes sense for myself.
Are there any of those guys which you look at, Shaq, and you just look at and you think, I would like to fight them? Is there anybody if you could think is a realistic possibility for 2022 where you think, yeah, let's get it on?
The only person I generally look at like that is just because of obviously the last on my record is Craig, to be fair. And it's no offense to him. You know what I mean? He's doing well in his career as well. I ain't got no hatred towards the man. It's just what it is, and it's like I've got a loss from him. I'd like to revenge that loss. But at the same time, there's no one. I've never looked at anyone. I've got here in my career. I've never called out anyone. I've never looked at anyone and said, you know what, I want this person. I don't talk myself into fights. I genuinely just focus on myself, keep winning, do what I got to do. And if the opportunities or them fights presents itself, then we handle it accordingly when it happens. But until then, man, I wish them, every one of them as well, the best. We're all in the game to better our families and better ourselves. So I'm not going to hate on anyone trying to do that. But until then, man, I'm going to carry on doing what I'm doing, working diligently and working hard in the gym and keep improving myself.
Right, Shaq, then we will leave it there and I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your day. I appreciate your time always, and thank you for speaking to me Social.
I appreciate your time, man. I'm surprised you're back down here, man. You're probably American resident now.
I'm on the American time clock still, apparently. I'm still on American time zone. But listen, I appreciate your time as always, Shaq. And as I've said to you, and I said to Max McCracken on a phone call, it's down to you guys, the guys around Birmingham who first started giving me the access where I've been able to build from that, but there's still a long way to go. So as always, I appreciate your time. I appreciate everybody's time who's given me some. And I look forward to seeing you back out, mate. So thank you for speaking.
Yeah, you've put in all the graft though, man. Don't forget that. You have to pat yourself on the back sometime, man. Understand that you put in all the graft. You could have stopped ages ago. I'm sure you've had bad days, but you've carried on, and you keep doing good things, man. I see your dad always proud posting about you, so keep it up, man.
I will do. Thank you, Shaq, and have a good night. Have a good weekend with your family.
And you, man. Take care, yo.